Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Hope Madden.
This is Movie Time.
It is.
And this is no joke. All right. Joker's opened up.
Yes.
It's made over $200 million worldwide already.
Nice.
So what's the controversy?
Well, you know, it's funny. The film itself is Taxi Driver in grease paint. And I think a lot of people weren't prepared for the cinematic cartoon universe to take that hard left.
Yes, yes. And a little bit of, what, King of Comedy?
Yes, definitely. It's a Scorsese movie.
I know!
It's a fanboys Scorsese movie.
You know, at the end I looked for credits for Scorsese, and I couldn't see any. Because I said, surely he must be a producer at least.
Right.
So you're looking at, what, late 70s and 80s?
I think it's set in 1981 based on the song choices. Based on the movie Blowout was on one of the marquees.
Yeah.
So 1981, Gotham or New York, trash strike, people are testy.
All right, from my point of view, a reason to see this film is to see Joaquin Phoenix play Joker.
Oh, no question.
I mean, don't you think he'll be nominated?
I do think so. And, you know, it's... Back, you know, when Nicholson played the part, people thought, well, that's it. Nobody can ever play this role again because he was so great. And then Heath Ledger came in and just blew it out of the water. And, you know, and then you thought, who would want to follow that up? But, you know, I think Joaquin Phoenix is an underappreciated... I mean, from our money, he is one of the 2 or 3 absolute best actors working today.
This guy played Johnny Cash.
Yes, he did.
Wow. And then he lost 52 pounds for this, and I realized Christian Bale does this as well.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's nothing new. But still, when you see the shots of him from behind...
Yes.
And how, you know, the bones and his spine...
Yeah, and his whole, I think, not just his physical transformation, but the physicality of the role, the dancing and the awkwardness, and yeah, that almost grotesque rib cage sort of look of him. But also, I think his unsettling, unnerving... chemistry with everybody else he performs with, because he's just something wrong with him. You know, he's just wrong, and he's trying not to be, but he's got these tics, and he just can't be right, you know, in a room with another person, and it's mesmerizing to watch.
The easy metaphor is, of course, the uncontrollable laugh.
Right.
And I thought, you know, that's an irony, of course, you know, that he can't get anybody to laugh, and he just uncontrollably laughs himself. But there's something really pretty neat about that idea. You know, the contrast, setting him off as you were describing, completely different. He's so eccentric, so out of the center of human beings, and he keeps getting rejected. Which brings up another point. Do you sympathize with him?
I do, because he is so vulnerable, you know, in the early going, but again, this film is so Taxi Driver, because you do you sympathize with and simultaneously fear Travis Bickle, you know, and it's not as if Todd Phillips, the director, co-writer, is not wearing this on his sleeve. You know, De Niro is in the film. You know, I mean, he's embracing the fact that he has basically taken 2 Scorsese movies and pieced them together. You know, and I know that there was a lot of backlash about you shouldn't, you know, be feeling for this guy. But one of the things that I think is interesting is how well the movie comments on modern times, partly by using the film Modern Times.
Okay.
But at the same time, unlike Rambo, you know, I think one of the reasons that there is such backlash and worry over this before it comes out is that he doesn't punch down. He shoots people in power. And he rallies the masses unintentionally, but to do the same.
Yes.
And it's I think unexpected today.
Yes.
And I'm not saying I'm not pro violence at all, but it's a very, very well made film.
And you know, you're kind of getting close to somewhere where I really appreciate this film. We are in times where it's okay to be outrageous. It's okay to vilify other people. It's okay to be a corrupt politician. I mean, not okay, but okay. It's acceptable. And so how we respond to our Joker indicates to me how we're responding now, currently. It's almost like we don't know if we are able to deal with it.
I think one of the things that the movie does, again, through that Modern Time segment, is to point out that, you know, throughout our history, it is the clown's purpose to represent society back to us.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
And that's what I think this. I'm not saying it's a faultless film. I think that Phillips struggles in a couple of different areas. I think there are times when he leads us by the hand a little too much. I think that there are certain segments where we got it. Just accept. I mean, trust us to have understood what you just did.
Yeah.
And I also feel like he loses his tone a little bit with the segments that have De Niro in them. I think they're a little almost broad stroke, almost black comedy, almost satire, and I don't think he's comfortable there.
No, yeah.
War Dogs a few years ago was really his first major film that was not a comedy, and I think that the reason that movie didn't do very well is because he could not find that tone. And so he wobbles with the tone a little bit in this, but it's really picking nits. It's a good movie.
You are, yeah. And also, if you look at the commentary that we've had on these late night talk shows, we had it with Late Night, the movie, and now we have it with this. I'm fascinated by De Niro's depiction of a late night talk show host.
Yeah.
Most importantly, how he draws our boy on after he finds out that he's a psycho.
Yeah.
He doesn't call in the guards.
No.
He continues to talk to him. How cocky is that?
Yes. It's an interesting, I think, because the show is clearly Carson.
Yes.
I mean, right down at the end of the band, it's clearly Carson.
Right.
But De Niro is not doing Carson. He's a unique. He's not clearly a talk show host we know from history.
Right.
He's carved out his own character because, of course, yes, he's Robert De Niro.
Sure.
But it's a strange place that it goes. It needs to go there, and it's delivered. I mean, you won't forget how it gets resolved. But again, I just think it's very bold. It's a bold film.
Yeah, I do. And if nothing else, just Phoenix's performance is just. To use the cliche, it just leaves you almost breathless.
It does.
And I cannot take my eyes off of him. And it's a different way. I couldn't take my eyes off of Jack Nicholson because he was a clown.
Right.
He was a real clown.
Right.
He was a jokester. And it was Nicholson just putting some makeup on and going like this.
Yeah.
And then Heath Ledger.
He was just the embodiment of chaos. I mean, Heath Ledger was really, and he won the Oscar posthumously. He was pretty faultless in the film, but he was also a supporting character, as was Nicholson.
That's right.
And this, Joaquin Phoenix more than carries this movie.
Yeah, and I mean everything right down to the way he runs down the street.
Oh yeah.
How do you do that?
I know.
I mean, I so admire great actors.
Yes.
Because they don't let anything slip by.
Right.
And this is the way this kind of discombobulated guy would run down the street.
Yeah.
And also the way when it starts with him shooting some people on the subway. People have difficulty adjusting to that, as I do, because of course the young men whom he takes care of are kind of looking like normal, even rich young men. There's something about that circumstance that's not as gritty as you would think it might be. And he is so quick with his reaction to them. I don't know, there's everything. And then when he confesses it, what a wonderful moment. How do you... That's where I thought De Niro was great also.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
This guy just don't... Everybody's been looking for the murderer, and he's right there, and he's saying, I did it. And De Niro is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Hope Madden, the film is Joker. Not the Joker.
Nope.
Not Batman.
No.
It is a film by itself. What grade do you award it?
A-.
All right, and I award it an A, just because, well, not just because I think it is really one of the year's best movies, and with whatever weaknesses there are. We have only one warning, right?
Don't take your kids.
I knew you'd
Don't
know that.
take your kids.
All right. Great.